welcome to the Debrief 3
with
Sarah. Miss Sarah.
Miss Laura.
Miss Hannah.
You had one job. Right, we're not doing that again. I don't want to
No,
do
that's
that.
it. We started.
Took too much out of me that. Right. How was everyone's day?
Good.
Sarah, how was your day?
Yeah, it was very good. We were doing portraits, faces, and I'm always scared to do that in art, but they did really well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We followed guidelines,
Yes.
so you could do it. The eyes were interesting.
Eyes are really hard to draw, I think.
Yeah.
Really hard. Hannah, how was your day?
Wasn't too bad. I had top music today.
Mhm.
And we were doing body percussion, and I was really into it because I was like, and we were doing, you know, the Wellerman song.
Oh, why?
So it was like, boom, 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 we're like right into it.
Mhm.
And then two of the kids just ruined it for everyone, so I was like, no, we're not enough of that. Then I made them get the dictionaries out, and we just got reading books and looked up 5 words, wrote the meaning, wrote a sentence, and they hated it, but I don't care.
Oh, well,
And I was like, you know what? Nah.
Mm.
Oh, and I got a loom band. One of the kids made it for me.
Lovely.
Well, I did a big clear out today actually in my classroom because there was so
Ooh.
much stuff lying around. So it was like artwork and stuff. So like, whose is this? So we did this first thing this morning. We just got rid of it all.
Oh, good. I
Yeah,
love
we just did that.
Did you file any of it in the X file?
They just told me to bin it actually. So
Oh,
the kids,
straight
I was
to
like,
the
the kids were like, just bin it, miss. I was like, okay.
Oh,
So
fair enough.
did that. But we had a better day. Yesterday was an interesting day in grade 5, but today was better. So
Every day's a new day.
every day's a
Yeah.
new day.
Yes.
We watched Spy Watch. You don't know what Spy Watch is, do you? Oh, it's
I want to spy kids.
no, Spy Watch.
Mm,
It's about
that's
World
good
War II. It's really good.
Ah,
I watched
they
it.
were telling me about this actually.
Yes, I watched it when I was in primary school, and it's always a cliffhanger, so they have to wait a week. So we watch it every week. So it's like we do the lesson first period, and then we do the Spy Watch the second period, and then we,
Nice.
and it always ends on a cliffhanger, and then
Is it for any history topic?
just World War II.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they talk about the spies from Germany coming over to Britain. Yeah, so it's very good.
That's so wow.
Mm.
Does it go into Cold War or no?
No, so, well, it's like a reenactment. Like these kids are acting as evacuees. It's very good actually.
That's cool. Wow.
I used to,
You should watch it.
Yeah.
as a child, this is so embarrassing, but me and my friend John, we used to pretend we were in it, and we used to like run around my granny's
Yeah.
house and all like that, because I was very old, but yeah. Anyway, icebreaker this week. They don't know what it is, but
No, we don't know.
it's not, I don't think it's that exciting, but I think it's quite a cool question. Okay, in a zombie apocalypse, what role would you play? Would you be the leader of a group, scavenger, or would you be the strategist person?
Oh.
Strategist.
Whatever, how do you say that word?
Yeah, but like, what is it?
Like, how would you organize the missions and stuff to get
Isn't
through?
that a leader though?
No, not really. 'Cause of
Oh, it's like the arm
Yeah, yeah.
leader. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
person
like
to
the
look for
commander.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
Who would you be?
The person that gets turned to zombie first.
Yeah,
let's be honest. Yeah,
I
would
think
be.
I
I'd be
think
rubbish.
I'd be
But was that an option? That
No,
wasn't an
but
option.
I know.
What would you do?
Well, tell me the 3 options again. I was listening, but
Leader, scavenger, or strategist? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
maybe the strategist, like to go and
Very
like.
logical.
Yeah, I am a very logical,
Mm.
quick and logical, you know.
Mhm.
But then I also do think I would just be eaten first because I just probably lie down a bit. Take me.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
of The Last Kids on Earth now. You read it?
Mm.
Oh, such a good book
Yeah.
series. Somewhere here.
I watched The Walking Dead, like, but
It's like the kids' version of a zombie apocalypse,
Alright,
but
okay.
it's fun and everything.
see, I think I'd be a wee scavenger because I'm quick. I could run in.
Yeah,
run,
you'd be good,
run,
yeah.
Get stuff.
I don't think I'd be. Yeah, I couldn't do. Leader freaks me out because what if you
There's
make
too
the
much
wrong? Yeah,
responsibility.
I think I'd be
Yes,
strategist
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Mm.
Send them
that.
like just the
Yeah,
doing the behind the scenes stuff.
but then as well, what if you're
Yeah.
sending them to their death?
I know. It'll be us
But you know
sending
the risk.
you.
You know the risk.
It'll be us sending you. Laura, off you go there and
Get some.
get some food.
But
I
that
don't know.
scares me, scavenger, because you just don't know if it might be your last
But then
day.
you wouldn't go on your own, though, would you? You go with other people.
No, but then we'd be sitting waiting for you to return to us.
See, I don't know why I picked this question.
No.
That was the first thing I said on ChatGPT.
Interesting.
Icebreaker questions.
It's good.
Oh, we can ask ChatGPT. I didn't think of that.
God, where do you think I got all these questions from?
Right.
Right.
Wow, you're so smart.
I should have just said that. Anyway, thank you very much for that.
so
So
welcome.
yeah, in case you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Exactly. Let's hope not. Anyway, so this week we're going to talk about student teaching. We've talked about it, but we haven't really discussed it fully. So, first question. Okay, what was your favourite moment in the classroom as a student teacher? So we've always talked about our least favourite moments. So we're very negative on here.
Mine was after the crit, and I knew I'd passed and everything. Sorry, we did this before. The part where the tutor comes in,
like,
final assessment.
Okay.
So it was after, so I knew I'd passed. So then I was like, free to just go all out, which is funny because you're supposed to do that for the crit. But anyway, and we did this skeleton lesson all about the bones and everything, and I just had a great time. And then I stood up on a chair, and then I was like, we were making up this dance with all the bones and like singing the different parts of the bones. I just made it up, a lot of it on the spot, and it was just really great fun. And then my teacher was my mentor teacher was observing me, and she gave me a 10. She was like, that was really good. And I was like, a lot of it was spontaneous.
Yeah.
Suppose that's the best.
Those are the best lessons.
Yeah.
When you are teaching something and then you think of, oh, I could just do this instead, and then you just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really fun because we just went out, and I was just so happy that I'd passed. That,
Yeah.
You know.
What about you, Hannah?
Mine was actually when I was getting observed as well, but it wasn't my final one. It was just the guy from the university came in.
The link tutor.
The link tutor came, and I don't really know what possessed me to do this, but I thought it'd be, we're doing instructional writing, and I knew they were coming to watch me, so I was like, oh, I'll do a good lesson. So I was like, we're gonna make 15s.
Oh, I love 15.
And I had the ingredients already prepped and stuff on the tables, so they just, and it was laminated cards, you try so hard when you're a student, but I still put the same effort in. But then they were making 15s, and it was like hilarious because they just didn't turn out like they were supposed to. But then it was just so fun, and I just was like more relaxed, and I think that was a highlight of it. Was towards the end of the placement, so the kids were like, Miss, this is so cool, and they just like were vibing, and it was I just remember that being like, this is such a lovely lesson.
My favourite was the last year, only out of university, you know. So last year we did, which actually would have been a year yesterday, I think. I would have started my 3rd year placement. This was in January. Anyway, we did a DT lesson, but I got kicked out of the classroom because there was this therapy dog was coming in, and the woman liked to be in a classroom, so they kicked us out of the classroom. So we had to go to the assembly hall and teach. So my mentor was like, just try your best. She says the behaviour will be probably worse because we're in the hall. So I was like, oh, that's fine. So we went to the hall and we were doing DT, and we were learning about structures and different structures and how they're held together and stuff. And we did the spaghetti and the marshmallows thing, and I loved that. But that was probably one of my favourite lessons as well, because it was in the assembly hall too, so it was a bit of a challenge. But I was getting observed in it too. And my mentor said I did well with the classroom, not being in the classroom. Whoa, that was.
I mean, especially if you're being observed and that happens, you're like, no, why?
Well, it was by my mentor. It wasn't like it was from someone from the uni. I'd be freaking out more. But it was my mentor. She was fine.
When my first placement on my PGC, I had done this lesson where they were researching like toys to buy, and it was like they were setting up their own business was kind of their project, and then they were researching like products. So I had already before the lesson asked the kids the day before, what do you want to look up? So I had the night before got links, and I embedded them as hyperlinks into this document that the kids could go and do the next day. So I then downloaded it on all the iPads before it started, and I was like, right, we're ready to go. So there's someone in observing as well. So the kids all clicked on them, access denied, because it's in a school. And I didn't even think of it, and I just was like, okay. I said, right, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go onto Google and Google them then, and they just got the pictures and stuff. But the class teacher, she was like, she was watching, she said she could see my face, was like, and then she was like, no, you were fine. But I was like, on the spot. But it was the first time that I'd kind of properly taught by myself. Sorry. And I just was like, this is so typical. That had nothing to do with anything. But
see, when like someone from the university would come in, it used to freak me out so much. I used to get so nervous about it.
But did your mentor ever get stressed as well?
Well, the thing is, they changed the rules in HL. It's so weird now. So the link tutor doesn't observe me; they observe the mentor giving me feedback.
What?
Yeah. So they're not there. Well, my link tutor last year, he was a legend. He was called Ben, but he said to me like, Laura, I'm technically not meant to observe you, but I can't help it not.
Yeah.
So he said, I've got some notes as well, and then he's like told me, and then he's like, I'm actually here to observe your mentor, giving me
So he
advice.
never observes you.
Technically he's not meant to, but they will anyway.
But then how do you? Why are they observing your mentor?
Because they
and
want
not
to
you?
make sure the mentors are giving the right feedback.
So how did you finish your final placement?
Yeah.
So my mentor would sign off on it, and then my lecturer would sign too, but he only seen me once.
But did they watch the final lesson too, your link tutor?
Nope.
So it's completely down to your mentor whether you pass or fail.
Yep.
then?
That's not.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my mentors, it's so weird. You meet your link tutor. I knew who my link tutor was because I had him for lectures, but I had Ben, so we met him. We had a meeting on Zoom with him. First meeting was on Zoom, right? Even though he lived in the area, anyway. And then we had a meeting with him, and then he came in once to observe me. And then they sometimes make a decision whether they're going to come in again or not. So they go, right, we're going to come back then. But then Ben was like, no, you're grand, so we will not come back. So then Cassie and Kate just signed off.
Wow.
But the problem with that, like, because one of my placements was like, if it was up to the teacher that was my mentor, she would have failed me, 100%. And so they had that backup just in case.
I think because my link tutor, because my mentors were sound like Kate and Cassie were grand,
Yes.
but I understand where you're coming from because if I
Yeah.
stayed in that placement second year, she probably would have failed me then. Yeah.
Like, it's far safer to be two, like both them.
But they only changed this recently. Like it was,
Yeah, because for me it was the link tutor from Edge Hill came, and he was called Len. Len McKay, I still remember. Len was like, full shout out now, but I never met him until he came to do my final. We didn't even know if the man existed. It was me and another girl in the same school, and we didn't even know if our tutor existed because our mentors kept saying to us, it's not normal that they haven't come yet. And I was like,
well,
So you never met them? We always met and we discussed and you got to know
was
your
just so
tutor.
random.
Edge held it a weirdly like they did.
and he just appeared, and then the teacher I was with, Jane, bless her, Jane was like, and I think this is your tutor from Edge Hill, and I was like, hello. Like,
So you met them then?
yes, and he was like,
I knew
okay, I'm just going to get settled and then we'll do the observation.
I didn't know mine in first year. In first year, I didn't know who they were. Second year, I didn't know who they were. But third year, I knew who Ben was because he had me for some seminars and stuff, so I knew who he was. But in first year, it was the link tutor signed me off. But then they changed it when I went into second year.
Okay.
Then
What year? Why? Maybe it's
don't know.
too much for them to. Right, we shouldn't be.
Anyway,
Yeah, we're
next
like,
Analysing.
Edge Hill is a great university.
Shout out Dundee. You're the best.
Shout out Edge Hill.
Yes.
And got outstanding by Ofsted
Yep,
recently. If
absolutely.
you didn't know,
I have no
I was
idea.
there when they were getting inspected. Okay, how did you balance planning, teaching, and feedback from your mentor teacher, and plus doing like uni assignments if you had to do uni
Oof,
assignments?
it was tough.
Yeah.
I remember we had assignments due whilst on placement.
Ours was the same.
No,
I
we
thought it was
didn't.
crazy.
Ours was.
Such a difference between my university and
It
yours.
always happened like that.
Mhm.
It was, and it was the.
But how can you do that?
Yeah.
That's
can't.
horrible.
You
You'd
can't say-
have an assignment about placement, so you'd have to do it whilst on
Yes.
placement.
Mine was, I had to write a critical reflection about an incident on placement.
Oh.
So then we had to do placement, and it was due the
Did
week.
you have a teacher folder too?
Yes. Yeah.
And that.
And that. Uh-huh.
I remember we had 3 assignments due
Mm.
in January, so they were within a week of each other and they were all 3,000 words, and then one of them was due on the day I started placement in third year. But I had them all, but it was I basically
Yeah.
lived in the library for 3
Yeah.
weeks. So
Good.
But it was
crazy.
crazy. So then I remember doing planning for the lesson that I was doing, and then I remember me and the other girl in the school, we were sitting together to write like our critical reflection together, just in the school, because we were like, we might as well do it here, it's quiet. But it was just, and then our mentor was like, I don't understand why you have, and I was like, I don't understand either,
Yeah.
but it's just
my mentors
crazy,
thought the same. They're like, that's mad.
isn't it?
Especially in third year when you're doing more, because you're basically teaching it
Yes.
all the time.
Thankfully that was my first placement, so it was only 50% timetable, it wasn't the full yet.
80%
Yeah.
teaching. So.
Look, I had 100%. Jane was
Well,
like,
you
you're
had
doing a great
20%.
job,
You
bye-bye.
had 20% PPA though.
Yes,
So then
but it was
that's the
pretty
80%.
much full time.
Yeah.
See, ours was you did like first and second term were always assignments,
Mm.
and then your third semester. Was the semester? Did they have I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was,
Yeah.
but yeah, the last one was just placement.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd have an assignment in that one, and then you'd have placement, but it would never overlap. And then fourth year was assignment, dissertation, all up to January, and then the rest of the time, the full, I think it was 10 or 12 weeks, was placement.
Yeah.
Wow.
So everything was.
Yeah.
Now I realize, I was complaining then, but actually that was really nice.
Did you balance it well?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
the question.
I know.
That's
Like,
the question.
yes to. I feel like I just. I'm just gonna talk to myself.
Sorry.
No, I think I had like set times that I would do things.
Mm.
Like I would try and do the school stuff at the school, and then do uni stuff at home.
Yeah.
And like the feedback from mentors as well. I think I really struggled the first time. I was terrified. Because I just assumed the lesson was terrible. There was no part of my head thought this is going well.
Yeah.
I'm still a bit like that too. I always just think my
I
lessons
think it always
are
will
bad.
be like that though.
Like I'm always like this. Even now when I get observed, someone comes to observe me. I'm like,
You think
oh,
of
it wasn't good. This is wrong.
Yeah.
This was wrong. And they're like, it was good.
Yeah.
So like I remember the first lesson I taught, and Claire came and she was like, so this is your feedback. And I was like, oh, I'm dreading this. And she was like, no, it was good. And I was like, oh. And she was like,
Yeah. That happened to me last
Yeah,
year too.
I
Because I was
know.
teaching history and my mentor was observing me, and I was like, after I was like, that was terrible. That was the worst thing I ever done in my life. And then Cass went, no, that was your best lesson I think I've ever seen you teach. I was like, what?
Oh yeah.
wow.
You do, and I think as well, sometimes you do it because you think, oh well, maybe if I go like say how bad it really was, when they say something encouraging, they're more
Yeah.
likely to because they see you're so down on yourself.
And then I go, yeah, it was really bad.
And you're like, no, like the worst thing ever.
Well, I said to myself,
Yeah.
I'll never do any work on Friday night.
Oh, same
I
gal.
said that. I was like, I'm never doing work on Friday
I
night.
still hold to that.
Yes,
I
same.
don't do a single
No,
thing on a
Friday
Friday.
nights are
Nope.
precious.
And I try.
Yeah.
I really try and get up on Saturday morning and do stuff, and then I have the whole day then.
Yes.
But then
yeah.
I sometimes don't get out of bed till like 12 in the afternoon, so then what's what?
Day's gone.
The day's gone, so I might as well just do no work.
See, okay, on a note for teaching, all through the week I go late after school so that my whole weekend,
You do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. This year I don't do any work at the weekends because I have
Yeah.
2 free periods on a Monday morning.
Nice. But for
Wonderful.
when it was student teaching, yeah. I
Oh,
worked
student
weekends.
teaching.
Yeah.
Oh, worked. But
Yeah.
I put so much effort in, like above and beyond which I would do now, because you were new and you
wanted to
thought,
prove yourself as well.
Yeah,
But
you
it was,
also
but it's good.
overthought
It's far
everything.
better you didn't do that at the beginning
Yeah.
because then you remember things. Because if you didn't do so well,
I know it's
then
true.
you're,
Yeah.
you know, how you were. But how I balanced it was,
Thank you for answering.
Yeah, I did.
I wish.
Oh, I wish.
You
Right,
did.
I'm away.
Want another cup of tea?
Don't you want me to go make tea while you talk?
No. I think I wish I'd done more of this, but near the end, I met with others in my course,
Oh.
or sometimes in another course. Some were doing a PGCE, and I'd sit with them and work with them. We might not be doing the same thing, but it really helped to have someone else there.
Yeah.
definitely.
But the file was hard, the teaching file, and making sure you had, and mine was all handwritten. I didn't do digital, but I knew that some tutors were against that and they preferred
Handwritten.
digital.
Oh, I prefer digital.
Yeah, and they were
Oh, nice.
particular about
I
the.
saw digital.
Even your feedback.
Yep.
So my
Gen Z.
Oh,
my
no.
lesson plan was digital, but the evaluation form was handwritten because my mentor was like, it'll make it look like you did it there and then, which you had. See, if I didn't do it there and then, I would not have remembered how the lesson was.
My mentor wrote it first when she was
Like
there.
the-
Typed it up.
Oh no, I just left.
Oh.
Oh, you
Everything
can't
for
read
me
my
was
writing stuff.
handwritten. I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not a computer kind of person.
No.
Mm.
I like it. It had and actually, one of my tutors said, "I like that it's all handwritten. It's got a nice touch. It looks
Yeah.
very, you
It's
know."
like a mixture.
Yeah.
This is
I
nice.
never handwrote.
But that thing that you had to cut. I mean, I was always sitting on the bus,
That's
massive
huge.
teacher folder, and
I know.
did I tell you the first time, my first placement, I got mistaken as a student going to that school,
Oh, Sarah.
and I was like, "No, I'm a student," because they were like, "Ticket for a student." I was
Yeah.
like, "What do you mean student? High school student?" I was like, "No, I'm a student teacher." Oh, I'm so
That's
Yeah.
embarrassing
my
for
teacher
them.
I
file.
know.
Yeah.
I got the bus to, when I started my secondary PGCE, I got the bus to the school, and there were kids on the bus
From
going
school.
to school, and I was like, I won't be doing this again. So then I got a taxi taxi. I was like, just gonna pay it.
They reimburse you for that taxi.
No.
I see. HR are funny with that.
No.
And they always
Yeah.
reimbursed us.
They reimbursed me for my fuel. So if I showed them the route of where I drove,
I didn't drive far enough for that.
really, I drove to Southport, which was like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
I just had to give all the bus tickets I had, and
I remember Thomas doing that with his train tickets, and he had them all laid out like this, and he had to take a picture of every single one and
wow.
upload it. You know, I had to help him as well.
I think they thought that you wouldn't be bothered with the faff of it, so then they wouldn't have to pay people.
Oh, but you're student and you're pearling. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
I
you did.
did
You
very
really.
well.
I got £260 back. I was like, happy days. Yeah. Anyway, so I've got some questions actually.
Ooh.
Yeah. From two
I'm getting excited, like-
two people who go to Stranmillis, but I'll say no.
Ooh.
No.
Oh,
Granny Grannies?
Yeah, well, one of them definitely is, and they know who they are. One
Well,
of them
my mom
isn't.
went to Stranmillis, so big fan.
okay.
Yeah.
We're not bitter at
Sorry,
all. that we didn't get in.
controversial.
Anyway, so one of them asks, how do you not let the stress take over? What keeps you motivated?
Netflix did.
Yeah. Find something.
You're always
For
stressed
you.
though. I think
You're always going to be stressed. Like, I
Yeah.
still am the biggest stressor.
really.
Like, it does get easier and
Yeah.
you do stress less, but you do need to find something that you enjoy doing, whether it's go home and watch Netflix, go home and read a book,
Go for a run.
go for a run, go for
Also,
a walk. You have to
yeah.
find something
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
You can't just go home and sit and stress
No, no,
because
no.
you will.
Yeah.
And don't
Right.
make it your life.
You'll spiral.
But
Yes.
also, I feel like I have friends who aren't studying to be teachers. So, like, for me, it was a lot of my church friends were all in different courses.
Mm-hmm.
And that really helped because I couldn't talk about school then.
Yes,
That's
agreed.
very
And
All
then
my
it
friends,
was-
like
yeah.
I had my course friends, but then I had my friends outside of my course
Yes.
as well,
I was
and
the
none of
same.
them did teaching.
Yeah.
Well, we played badminton, and that was like a
Yeah.
drama.
And you don't realize that really helps.
Because you're not going to talk about school, because
Yeah.
then they're going
And
to
you
be like,
need that.
stop talking about school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they'd ask you
Yeah.
all house placement, and then you'd be like,
It's
"Oh,
fine,
it's
let's move on.
thank you." Yeah, but you're always going to be stressed.
You are, but
Yeah.
find something to do.
But there's
Yeah.
a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
You know, you think, oh, this is my life, but then something's done and you're a teacher and then
Yeah.
it's really fun.
And I would say prioritize what you have to do as well, because there are things in teaching that will wait for tomorrow. Because I
Yes.
think that on placement I got so stressed of
Mhm.
these books must be marked today, these
Yeah.
books must be done, like this planning needs to be done, this like what did you call your teaching file, your PDP? Is that what it was called? I think that's what our professional development
Oh,
something.
aye.
A
We
weird
did no,
thing.
no. Actually, I tell you, like we
Yeah.
did an EP because ours all turned electronic, so it was an electronic portfolio.
God, honestly, I carted that thing round. Oh, and every job
Yeah.
interview I went to.
So
So
I
you
got
never
that
went
stupid
around
thing.
with an actual physical folder.
Yes,
Big-
no, when
big-
you
big
no,
ring
when you were
binder.
talking about that, I
No.
was like, what you're
Big
talking
lever
You
about?
are living the life. It was
Laura!
such a stress. You're like, I'm going to leave this on the bus or something.
The biggest lever arch folder you could
But can I
find.
just say-
Oh.
Can I-
And then when you ran out and you're like, I need to get a bigger one, or I need two.
Me too. Oh.
Can I just say something right?
And you got the Polly
Can
Pocket.
I just
Oh,
say something?
Gen Z.
Yes,
Oh.
Gen Z, what do you want to say?
Right,
An electronic portfolio.
I wasn't the one who made up the. Right. Anyway, I wasn't the one that did the course right. I was the one that changed it.
Okay.
I helped the year I was born.
Okay, share your experience.
We,
should-
we,
I can't remember what the
we
question was.
listen and we don't judge.
There's a lot of judgment there. I can't help it. I was born in 2001. Very
Yeah,
sorry.
you can't. Sorry. Tell us.
Sorry. Anyway, what was the question again? I can't even remember.
Have
The
stress.
digital-
How do we not be stressed? And
Oh, why?
How'd you balance?
yeah,
Well, you're always going to be stressed.
you are.
Yeah. I'm not as stressed as I was when I was a student teacher, though.
No, I'm not.
I've noticed the
invested.
difference
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I think because I always had someone watching me when I was a student teacher.
That's the thing as well.
You always someone
yeah.
watching you in the corner of the room, and then I always felt like my mentor, like they probably weren't, but like every time I did something, like I feel like my mentor was just like watching me. I was just like,
Yeah.
you in your eyes, like.
And when you go to observe someone like now, I'm
Mm.
always thinking, I really
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want them to think this because
Yeah.
Please don't make me think that.
I always try and be
Well,
not obvious in the room.
yeah,
Then sometimes I think that makes me more obvious because
Yeah.
I'm kind of like.
stand behind a column or something.
And she's like, hello.
I was just sitting there.
Yeah, nice.
Make a cup of
So you need
tea.
to
Just
do an
look-
observation.
Just
by
look through the window.
I know, girl. Don't you worry. Anyway,
the way.
next question. Let me
Did
find
they
it.
have another one?
Yeah, well, it's on a different app, so I need to go into this app.
Good question.
It's a very good question.
Oh, that was one question.
Yeah, sorry.
That will be.
Okay, I think Hannah might be able to answer this because I don't know if you've taught this age. For phonics,
No.
so she's Northern Irish, so she's wrote it like a Northern Irish person.
Okay.
Do yous follow?
Do yous
Do yous
follow?
follow like a phonics teaching guide? Because I'm really struggling at the minute to make phonics interesting, especially in P1. She said, so that's PS2. But if you're
Right, let me think. Okay, so I taught phonics in grade 1, and I followed Twinkle Phonics. So then I did like all the PowerPoints and like the games and stuff that's linked to it, and like the Twinkle Go is really good. Get them a little count, they can do it on the tablets and do their sounds and stuff. Like do little cards, like match the sound to the letter, match the picture to the sound and stuff. I tried to make it as hands-on as possible, like all of the tough tray stuff and like the kinetic sand and drawing the letters and stuff, all of that, because it is hard. I find phonics was one of the hardest things for me to teach because I hadn't taught grade 1 on a placement. I taught grade 2 was the youngest, and their phonics was like level 6, phase 6 of like the blends that they hadn't quite mastered, or just adding the suffixes. So it wasn't like the full sound. So then when I moved to grade 1 here, I was like, oh, but well, Lula helped me a lot, the preschool teacher. But yeah, so do that, like get lots of just hands-on activities, and yeah, get the Play-Doh out.
the Play-Doh out. I hate teaching.
And Twinkle Phonics I think is the best. I'd loved using it.
Should we ask? Is it autumn or autumn?
Yes, yeah.
Autumn.
So I think
to be
as
at this week.
well,
It's fall.
whoa.
I know.
That's so much
Yeah.
easier.
That's another thing with phonics is, but I don't know if that's just a thing here, because is she teaching in Northern
Yeah,
Ireland?
she's teaching in Northern. Well,
Oh.
she's a student though, isn't she? She's
Yeah.
Strandmoss.
Oh, sorry.
So the Northern Irish accent won't be an issue.
No, that won't be an issue.
But if
so,
she came to England or Cyprus
yeah,
or something.
sometimes you have to change your accent.
Yeah, that's always a tricky
And
one
that's
because it's
hard.
like
I can't change.
No.
I find it really difficult.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So please don't put me in grade 1. She asked another one actually. She said, if you have time to do a plenary, I can't think of anything to do. I only do a quiz or thumbs up. What ideas would you give her?
Oh, there's a good one. When they write something that they learnt and then stick it to the board
yeah.
yeah,
on their way
I
out
love that.
What's
if
up?
they're leaving.
But do you always have time for a plenary? No.
No, to be honest, this is going to be controversial. I just don't see the point sometimes in a plenary. I
I as well. Does it have to happen at the end? Because sometimes
Yes.
they're just writing in their book and then it's the next lesson.
Yeah.
And so you can do it before and say,
I agree. So
Who
yeah,
understands?
the
Thumbs up, thumbs
review
down.
at the start of the lesson
Because
might
you're doing the
be-
retrieval.
yes.
anyway.
So it's like the plenary could be part of the next lesson. So like the review at the start of what do we remember about this? Yes. My favourite one to do is if we're doing something, like a new topic, I do a mind map on the board, and in one colour they go and write what they already know about the topic.
That's nice.
I add in what we learn, and at the end they then add in another so 3 colours. They then add something they have learnt or something they want to change from what they already knew.
That's
So
nice.
we were doing endangered animals today. So we had they'd added some animals and reasons why are animals endangered they were writing. So some of them had written silly things like the animal just falls and dies, and I was like, no it doesn't. So then they were like,
I'm
Miss,
in
can
danger.
I so they were like, Miss, can I take this off? And I was like, yeah. And then someone thought I'd said endangerous animals, so they just read animals that are scary. And I was like, so then they were like, Miss, I'm going to change that. So that to me is
that's
like,
good.
I like that. I
Like,
like
where
doing
do you
that.
do this? Is this in their books or is this a
It's-
shared one?
Well, on my smart board.
Oh, so
Nice.
Can I do that then?
Yes, that's really good.
So I just keep it, and then I take a screenshot of it and save it. So then we have the evidence that they've actually done it.
Wow.
Also, mind you,
Yeah.
That's good actually.
Yeah.
Basically, I like
the maths book.
It is. We've heard today that Hannah's very modest.
Oh!
Yes. So
I'm just coming to terms with the fact that I actually am a good teacher.
yeah, and I
Yes,
think
you are.
Yeah, because
we're so used to bashing
Yeah.
ourselves down.
Exactly.
Actually, that's not
and I am doing a good job.
not
You
helpful.
are.
Don't worry,
Continue.
we'll keep you in order. You know, your head
Keep
won't
you
get
humble,
that
Mum.
big. Don't you worry.
I think everyone thinks that though. Like sometimes you have a lesson and you're like, oh, and then you're like, no.
That was good.
Not being silly.
Sometimes you lessons you think that lesson was amazing.
Aye.
Like that was a cracking
I just
lesson.
sit there and I go,
Like, well done me.
I should be so proud of myself.
And not one person is here to see it.
I know, literally.
The kids appreciated it, and that's all that matters. If they did
In a
appreciate
funny
it.
way, I feel it. Anyway, I think that's all the questions I have actually.
Oh,
But I think we've run on quite a wee bit
We
today.
have, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, top tips, things you wish you knew. That's our plenary.
Oh, our plenary. That things can wait till tomorrow.
Thank you.
Stop stressing yourself out over stupid stuff.
Aye. I think home is home, work is work.
Yes.
Yes.
End of.
We're done.
End of debate. It's not even a debate.
Yeah.
Right, Sarah.
Oh, there's so many. I'm gonna pick one.
Quickly. I'm hungry.
That there's an end. Like it won't last forever.
Oh, yes.
You know, like it
What
will be
that's
done.
the stress?
Placement.
Oh, placement.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Placement. Well,
And it gets better.
Yeah.
But I think as well, sorry, I'm not rambling.
That's alright.
Another one, take more risks. I wish I had
Yeah.
taken more risks on placement and done more lessons to see if they work. Because I've done lessons now where they're mad, like
Yeah.
crazy. And it 100% does not work. And I'm like, alright, that's cool. But if I'd have done it on placement, I'd had an experienced
it.
Yeah.
teacher telling me this is
Yeah.
why it doesn't work.
yeah.
Instead of, but sometimes also you do have to just jump in. If something works, it works.
But how do you not know if it's going to work or not?
You
might as well
don't,
try
that's
it.
true, yeah. But I wish in placement I'd have been braver to been like, let me try this.
Yeah, same. Because
Yeah.
I was just sort of like, why would I risk anything? It's placement. I need to make sure
Yes.
that everything
Yeah.
is
See,
crazy.
my mentor actually told me, so shout out Kate, she said, Laura, you don't have to follow the medium term plans because if you think of something better to do but still meets the
Yes.
learning objective, do it.
I know,
And
yeah.
because I did the chair strike thing
Yes.
and placement and that wasn't in the medium term plan, so I just
Yeah.
did it and Kate was like, that was the best thing you could have done because
Yeah.
you changed it.
Mm.
Because we don't teach the same way. Like I'm taking the planning from the grade 3 teacher last year, and I'm like, I wouldn't teach that. I would do this instead. And you're allowed to switch it up. And like, well, this is awkward because you're like, you're teaching from
not.
Sarah's planning, so like.
No, do it.
But
No,
there
I-
are, but you're
But
you
everyone-
will be
everyone has a
teaching from
different
the
style.
the teacher last year.
No,
You
no,
won't.
no.
Because there's things that they would have done that I would be like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And then there's things I would do that you would watch me and be like, you're mad.
Yeah.
You know?
All three of us are very different though.
Yeah.
Well, we are very
and
different teachers.
following on
yeah.
from that, don't compare.
Yes.
Don't look
yeah.
at the other
100%.
student teachers and be like, oh well, they
Yeah.
seem to know everything.
everyone's
It's
different.
like everyone's
Yeah.
even your teacher. Just
Yeah.
pick things that you like, their style,
Yeah.
and try it out and
Yeah.
see if it works for you. But you'll develop your own style. So
100%.
do
And
not
be
compare.
confident in your own style as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That if something works for you in your classroom, don't let anyone else tell
Tell
you
you
that
don't-
that is
You
stupid.
shouldn't do that.
Because if you are managing your classroom in a certain way and it's like a tool that works for you, who are they to come in and say, oh, you should teach this way? Like, no.
And if you can
So-
justify,
so-
you can just. I mean,
Yes.
self-reflect. Always
But every
self-reflect.
Mhm.
class is different though, and then you
Yes.
know your
Oh,
class
for
better
sure.
than anyone.
Yeah.
Because if I went to grade 3, I don't really know them, so
No,
like,
yeah.
you know.
And each class that you get is different too. So some things work
Yeah.
for them, and then it doesn't
Oh,
work
you-
for the
yeah,
next
I know.
class.
Mm-hmm.
And I always find that so interesting.
Yeah.
Especially, I love the art hub for kids. I
Yes.
love it. And I've had it in grade 1, a class who would sit all day and do that. And in the next year's class,
Yeah.
they were like, this is boring, I hate this.
Yeah,
And
my class don't like it.
it was your class that didn't
Yeah,
like it
they
in
don't.
grade 1. And I was like,
Oh.
They don't like
And
it.
I
Good
was
to
like,
know.
no.
I'll not try it next
See,
year.
They don't
but
like
that-
it.
Tear me up, put it in
Yeah.
Oh, I changed that. No, don't you worry, I
that.
changed all that. We did it
But it's
once, and then
true.
I was like, they hate it, and I was like, we're not doing that again.
But it's
Good, very
yeah.
good.
But it's funny that you think, oh, this will just work every year. And it
That
doesn't.
doesn't.
I know.
The class I could get next year could love that, and then
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Did they? I taught them. Yes, they did.
Happy days.
And the
Well,
class I have
Interesting
do,
that-
the class in grade 2 at the minute do not.
Okay.
Because last year it was like,
I'll not worry too much about that.
you're not going to be here.
Oh, yes. I'm actually
Yes,
no.
you are. You are.
We like to wind
We
Sarah
need
up.
well, but we need more seasons of the debrief, right?
Yes.
So I mean, like, if they go, there's no more debrief. Sorry. So they're
You do it on
staying.
your own.
Sarah, you just rant on.
Jennifer on.
No.
Change the name, what's like to mother and daughter. Mother and daughter debrief.
Yeah.
Nah, you're not going.
No. No, Sarah, we're not too
I'm
worried.
on free will, thank you very much. On that note.
Wow.
No one has free will when you're in placement. Well, you do. But
I did not know where that was going. I was like,
No one has free will.
okay.
well, it depends where you are. No, do what's best. Self-reflect. Don't
Yes.
compare. Help each other.
And it can wait till tomorrow if it can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't sit.
And have a hobby.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not teaching related.
Don't
Planning
sit in
cannot
school.
be a hobby.
No, do not sit in school to stupid o'clock planning lessons. My top tip, do not spend longer planning it than you will spend teaching it. Done.
Okay, you should get that on
Excellent.
longer.
I should, that's my
I did
favourite.
that last week too.
I did,
No.
yeah.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.
I don't know what this is. Don't leave. Bye.